Hey y'all, welcome back to the Be Like D channel. It's your girl D coming back with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 3 episode 13. And oh, this episode was good, y'all. I mean, good. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so the episode opens up with Destiny, and Destiny is doing the cover of Hype magazine for her beauty supply store or whatever she got. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Up to Hype Hair magazine. Destiny's dad is there. And he get emotional, saying, you know, he proud of her and all that kind of stuff. And then when Tisha get there, she talking about she gonna introduce Miss Wanda to her daddy. And I'm like, Destiny, no, you don't want none of them Miss Wanda problems. And I'm happy Tisha was like, nah, he quiet, he good over here, okay? So I don't know why she tried to make that joke about Miss Wanda. So then they sit down and they go talk, and they basically recap the weekend, what's been happening, and then Tisha, I thought you didn't have a problem with Tiffany. Now you going over there telling Destiny that you feel like Tiffany she transparent with everybody else, but she not transparent with her stuff. And then Destiny like, yeah, she sure is. I'm like, girl, you ain't even transparent, so shut up. We don't know nothing about you, okay? We just know you just got recently divorced to a man that made good chicken, okay? So stop right there, you two. And then so they like, yeah, we don't know nothing about her. And then, you know, she basically spraying everybody's teeth. But then Destiny goes to ask her about how does she feel about Marceau making a grandstand of not wanting to do the vow renewal. And she said, well, you know, the trip was about friendship and fun. No, it wasn't. That's what she lied right there. The trip was not about friendship. The trip was about your 15-year anniversary. That's what that was. So don't try to say it's about friendships to try to cover it up, make it seem like you're not as hurt as you are, which you are and were, and you just admitted that. So stop it. So she's trying to say, yeah, it was about friendships and many friendships and blah, 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 blah. And it was just a lie with the whole Mel and Martell and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, girl, stop it. You felt the way, okay? But then she also says how when he mentioned that depression stuff, she didn't know. And then this looking like, oh, you ain't know? In Tisha's confessional, she says that when he brought up that depression, she didn't think it was that he was going through depression, but she has been feeling a disconnect between him and her for a while now, but she just thought he was just because he's so busy. And that so now she said something about she got to suck up her feelings and move on. I'm like, girl, how can you live like this? No, I'm not gonna suck up my feelings and move the fuck on. Oh, why are you settling for this? Okay, so now we're over to Martell and Marceau. Apparently they meeting up to talk about the 47 acres. This thing has been going on for a long time. God damn, it's gonna be what, season 6, 7, 8 by the time that damn 47 acres is developed and finished. Damn. But anyway, so Martell came to go talk to Marceau about the 47 acres and about him being the general contractor, because he knows he still don't got his damn builder's license, which Mel has. And then now he's saying that he asking him to be the general contractor. Then he tells him that that the Chris dude went to Mel and asked Mel about being a builder on the thing, and that he got upset about that. And then as soon as he said that, Marceau was looking like, oh shit, don't bring me into this. I don't even want to be a part of this. Can y'all work together? You sure y'all can't work together? And he's just like, so what did Mel say? And then he's saying that it bothered him that he went to Mel to talk to Mel about the general contracting or whatever. And he's like, well, how was that conversation when you talked to Mel about it? And he said, well, did you go to her arrogant or anything like that? And then he was like, no. He's like, well, I don't think so. I mean, you know, because I don't be knowing when I'm tripping. Yeah. You don't know when you tripping, Martell. You don't, okay? You need to figure it out, though. Figure it out and figure out your tone, because your tone be all wrong, okay? So now Marceau asked Martell would he consider doing a job with Mel, because and then he was like, oh yeah. The high pitched, unsure, yeah. But then Marceau was like, cause I don't want no whole drama out there. Like, I ain't trying to have no drama. We already done had business dealings in the past that ain't went well, which AKA the Sculpt, him and Scott Holt's combination, and he said before he left the company. So so now you're trying to do business back in business with somebody that you left the company to do business with before. So, okay, Marceau. Well, Marceau in his confessional says, what Martell says sounds good, but it's always easier said than done. And I'm like, yes, especially with Martell. He say he know the right words. He know them, but do he actually do them? No. Now Chris shows up, and then Chris looking all shocked because neither Chris or Marceau knew that either one of them was gonna be there. So Martell blindsided both of their ass with a business deal, basically. Like, okay, so yeah, remember, we good, right? We good. We'll do this together. So then Marceau flat out asked Chris, what does he think about Mel doing the residential side while him and Martell are doing the commercial side of the 47 acres. And he was like, what do you think about that? You think they can do it? And then Chris was like, well, he basically told their ass that they ain't even landed on the general contractor with the people that actually own the land now. They haven't even got a general contractor. So it's like there's no, and then he said there's no guarantee that Mel is doing the residential side as well. So he basically said none of y'all positions are secure, okay? But he said, but Mel's an adult and Martell is an adult, so it should be fine. And then Marceau was like, yeah, but we friends, so we all businessmen and business people, but we friends too, and that's the issue. So we gotta make sure this is the right fit for all of us. I know we all want this, but it gotta be the right fit. I'm like, okay, so when Marceau is speaking about stuff like that, I like how he's leery about working with Martell. Like, you don't want to even get involved with that, but you do see the money, so he kind of like, should I? But good job, Marceau, because don't hop in with Martell and just think everything's gonna be good. Something gonna go wrong because it's Martell, okay? Okay, so now we're over to Tiffany and Destiny going to meet up, and then here go Destiny talking all kind of shit in her confessional, talking about she happy to go meet up with Tiffany because Tiffany want to be so transparent. She need her to be transparent like Casper the Ghost. We need to see right through you and know your life, basically. And I'm like, girl, we don't know your life, okay? We don't know your life, but you're trying to get all into Tiffany's, okay? Bye. So this is a good sit down. So Destiny get right into it, and she like, well, I want to have this sit down so we can get to know each other, because it feels like, you know, you so transparent. We all transparent about our lives, but we don't know nothing about you. So and she said we both have smart mouths. And then Tiffany like, I have a smart mouth. I have a smart mouth. So annoying. It was so annoying, man. Really? Yes, bitch, really. Like, and you playing in my face right now, okay? That was so annoying. And then Destiny like, yes, we both do, and that's probably why we clashed a little bit. She was like, we was on a trip, you keep going, and you was poking a bear, and then she like, oh yeah, oh. You was poking a bear after I said, let it go, and I tried to walk away. And she was like, really? How? And then Destiny got to go and say, by saying, whatever city you from, you got problems in, or whatever the hell she said, like that. And then she was like, well, I'm new to the group, so like put yourself in my shoes. You were new. And then she was like, yeah, I put myself in your pink pumps. And then here comes Tiffany showing off her pumps. Shaking her little ankle, and then the camera panned down to it. How she was like, I put my feet right into your pink pumps. But the difference is I didn't bring up anybody's kids, anybody's tea, anybody's family, anybody's ex-husband or anything like that. I didn't do any of that. But I was the new girl. Yeah, I was the new girl. And then she was like, see. So you make connections. You made friends just that fast. Really? And this is why you got a smart mouth, bitch. Because the tone of voice she using, I've been pissed from jump. Like, you're not finna sit here and have that condescending tone for me, okay? And she like, anyway, so we need to know about you. What's your dirt? And then then Tiffany like, see what new friends, you just ask. And she's like, okay, well, I'm asking, what's your dirt? I said, okay. Okay, that's the knee. Okay, let's get into it, okay? And then Tiffany's like so eager to tell her business. She's like, oh, well, first, it's a lot of stuff about me, right? It's a lot of stuff about me. I wasn't even born Tiffany. And then they cut it to commercial, right? I'm like, girl, were you adopted? Because I know it ain't trying to be like how everybody think, like, oh, was she not born a woman? She got kids. Come on now. She was born a woman. She had the baby herself. Anyway, but, so yes, like I said, she was adopted. Apparently her name was Jamie Lynn something Payne, and her mama was white, and her mom gave her up because she was black, because she was mixed, but she kept all her white kids. I'm like, ooh, that is hard. That's sad. And then she says that the neighbor is the one that told her when she was like 18. Her neighbor is the one that told her that she was adopted. So her whole life, she didn't know she was adopted until she was 18 and already about to have a kid herself. First of all, who the fuck the neighbor is to think they are to tell my child's business, okay, to them? Like, I know that them parents was pissed off. What happened? Can we get that part of the story? Because I want to know what happened. Because you can't just spill my tea to my kid and then nothing gonna happen, okay? Best believe. But anyway, so the neighbor is the one that told her, and she said at that time when she realized that, she had her own biological family member would be her child. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, okay. But then she said that it was a hard time growing up. She was in group homes, foster homes, and then here we go, Destiny opening up too. Definitely say, okay, well, that's something we can relate about, because I was in foster homes. My mother was on drugs, and to this day, I'm like, damn, to this day, they gotta be hard. And then the fact that she grew up in group homes and stuff too, it gave me a little bit more of what Destiny's personality is. And Tiffany, you got a lot going on too, but just like that, Destiny was like, okay, yeah, I understand her story, but then she kind of was like, we all got a story. That's how Destiny came off on her confessional. Like, yeah, okay, I get Tiffany, but like, yeah, it's still something about Tiffany though. And then the fact that Tiffany still said that she's still probably gonna fuck up, which tells me I'm gonna still be talking, but I just apologize. That's it. That's all she's gonna do. Oh, I'm sorry you felt that way, but I'm just gonna keep talking. Okay, so they wrapped this whole scene up with Tiffany finally apologizing to Destiny. Destiny accepts the apology, then she apologizes to her for saying she was gonna drag her ass. And then Destiny says, I meant it in the moment, but I'm sorry, that wasn't right. Like, yes, Destiny, let that bitch know you meant I'm gonna whoop your ass. Okay, so now Mel is headed to Chris's office, and they having a meeting about the 47 acres. That's gonna be the thing with episode 47 acres, apparently, because everybody talking about it. But anyway, so talked to him about 47 acres, and she said that, you know, last time they talked, she said she told him to talk to Martell so he wouldn't have no extra tension between them. And then he like, right. And this is what Chris is messy, okay? Chris, you messy. You gonna ask how she feel about him being upset that you know, that he mad because Chris went to Mel first instead of him, because that's what the business people wanted. And then she said, I ain't worried about his feelings. She said, I'm worried about my 4 kids' feelings. That's all I'm gonna be worried about. I got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to do. I ain't gotta be time to be sitting around worried about no grown man feelings. And then he like, right. Respect that. I respect that. So then in her confessional, she says that she didn't understand. This project was supposed to be for both of them. They both bought the land together. It was supposed to be a project they worked on together. But now he's trying to treat it like it's just a project for him. And the fact that they did this together, and then now he don't want her to even get a piece of the pie is a problem. There's something wrong with that. And I'm like, yes, because all of a sudden he trying to cut meal out of it. Like, that's money that goes to both of y'all, and it goes directly to y'all kids. You know why? Because y'all have kids together. But no, he want to be like, no, let's not do business with Mel, because Mel got all of them other businesses probably, and his ass over there broke. He trying to get most of the money. But anyway, just like how he was trying to hold on to them businesses last season, and then she was like, nope, dissolved. That was good. And then she said maybe why he's so mad, maybe he wouldn't be so mad if he was over there worried about that builder's license. She is the one that holds the builder's license. If you would put more work in on the builder's license rather than other things, maybe you'll be in a better position. Okay, she said something like that. I just paraphrased. It was something like that though. Okay, so now Chris messy ass tell Mel that he had a meeting with Martell scheduled, but then he brought Marceau, and then she like, hold on, wait. So you had a meeting with Martell, and then he brought Marceau. Okay, so what y'all was talking about? And then he like, the 47 acres, general contracting on it. And then she's like, oh, really? He vouching for Marceau, somebody he just got back cool with, but not his mother of his 4 kids. Okay, let me get that straight. I'm like, yeah, when you put it like that, hell yeah, that's what he doing. So, and then I ain't like how she threw out that he said she was like, somebody you said that you did business with and they didn't pay you. I'm like, ooh, don't say that to Chris, because then Chris gotta take that into account when he doing business with the man now. So then that's probably them messed up Marceau business. So we'll see though, we'll see. But she was like, but really, that's what you doing? You taking food out of my mouth, my kid's mouth and shit like that. And then in her confession, she says, for some reason, Martell think it's a competition between them two. But she ain't competing with nobody but herself, okay? And the fact that, he trying to cut her out is fucked up, basically. So then she tells Chris, I'm not backing down. I'm going to make sure I put in my bid for them 47 acres. And she said, and I got a lot of money behind me to play with. I said, okay, bitch, okay. But anyway, she was like, oh, yeah, and she was like, who the snakes? If I ain't never seen a snake, I sure ain't know I was sleeping with one for years. I'm like, yes, Melody. Yes, you were. Girl, I'm so happy you're out of that. I swear, because watching season 1, I was like, okay, she gonna leave him. It's gonna be done. Then they still together season 2. I'm like, oh, Lord, really? Then she was pregnant. I'm like, oh, no. Girl, you had us on a roller coaster. I thought you was gonna never leave him, okay? But you did it, girl. You did it. But anyway, so she said it's chess, not checkers. That's what she playing with Martell, dumbass, thinking he gonna stop her money from coming in. Boy, bye. So now Martell is over to Maurice's office, and hey, apparently he need help with his credit. And then I'm sorry, that confessional, he was like, yes, I need help with my credit. I'm like, idiot. He said his credit dropped 100 points. And I'm like, so now he basically saying he's struggling to get finance to be able to do whatever he want to do. He said a year ago, he could walk into any bank, any place, and do what the hell he wanted to do because they had good credit, good money, and everything, right? Now, a year later, you're divorced. Got an extra kid, and you got a bankruptcy, and your credit done dropped. If that ain't karma finally knocking at your door, it's just knocking. It ain't even went in yet. And then Maurice tell him that it's gonna take about 24 months before somebody would try to finance him or anything like that. And then he like, damn, goddamn, really? And then Maurice just told him he gotta just add more credit to build his credit instead of just starting from the bottom, starting all over again. But he's like, but I'm gonna help you through this. But you gotta slow down, Speed Racer. And I'm like, cause you know he want everything done so fast, but he ain't gonna get done that fast, right? And how fast you was cheating, you should have been worried about how fast you was gonna get another job if this marriage didn't work out. I guess you ain't think about that, huh? You thought marriage was gonna be there forever, huh? Now Maurice tells Martell that he cared about him as a person, and so after hearing all that stuff that Marceau was saying in Vegas about depression and stuff like that, he think they all should go to therapy. So now Maurice is trying to push therapy. But guess what? Martell already been to therapy. How many times? How many times has he been to therapy? He been to couples therapy with Mel that one time on the show. I don't know about off the show. But on the show, he went to couples therapy that one probably time. Then he kept saying Dr. Francis was biased because he didn't agree with him. And then he went to another person, and then it still didn't stick. Nothing sticks with Martell. Martell got to actually want to do it. He's just doing it because people telling him to do it. He need to want to and want to change himself, but he don't. And the whole time Marceau telling him that they should go to therapy, that he didn't realize the amount of stress and stuff that he's under, dealing with multiple businesses and stuff like that. And you don't know that you stressed and stuff like that until somebody put a mirror up to your face. I'm like, Kimmy been trying to put a mirror up to your face for the longest. You just ain't see it because why? Is it because she's a woman? Is that the reason? You have to hear it from another man that he might be going through something, and then you're like, well, maybe, let me think about that. But when your wife telling you blatantly that you're dealing with a lot, you're doing a lot, and you spend more time with your kids, you're just like, I'll get there. Y'all just like, oh my God. Maurice tried to come off like he the good one, but y'all all just as bad as each other. And that's what I get from this group. But anyway, so then Martell says, well, you find one, let me know how that go, and then I'll see if it's a good fit for me. I'm like, yes, I bet that is exactly how he felt, and that's how he was looking the whole time Maurice was trying to tell him about going to therapy. I think you should go too. He already been. He don't care. He don't get it. So now we're over to Tisha and Dr. Francis, and let me tell you, Dr. Francis, you got all the information that we need, okay? You was pulling out everything from Tisha. Tisha was being open, being vulnerable, and I loved it, okay? This whole scene is great. I just got to say that before I get into it, okay? So, she come into the office, she tell him, oh yeah, I'm alone today, you know. He said it's not for him. You had some great points, but it's just not for him. And then he like, okay. So, and she was like, the reason why she came last time because she felt so burnt out. She got all these things on her plate. She got the kids. She got dealing with them in the school with the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. And then they got 3 businesses they running. And then he said, let me ask you something. You're married, right? Yes. She like, yes. Well, it's like I got 4 kids, really, because you know Marceau don't help with nothing around the house, right? And Dr. Francis said, oh. I'm here for this whole last scene because he is gathering Tisha, okay, and Marceau, and he ain't even there, okay. So then he said, oh, so you have 4 kids, so did you tell him that? And then she said, yeah, but with the kids, at least I can tell the kids what I need them to help with. But with Marceau, he ain't gonna do it, basically. And then he like, oh, okay. So then she gets into when she growing, she didn't know that marriage was gonna be like this, I'm thinking, because she says that she never grew up with a male in the house. She was raised by a single mother. So she don't know what it looks like for a man to be around. The only thing she knows is that her grandmother and her mother taught her to just take care of the household. And like even around her grandmother, the men couldn't do nothing. And then he was like, couldn't? She was like, yeah, couldn't. They basically was catered to. So then he was like, so are you still doing that same thing? Are you catering to the man? And then she like, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. That's just what I know. And then she says that she met Marceau when she was in her senior year in college, and then they've been together ever since. And then she was pregnant. She was 4 months pregnant on her wedding day, and she said, and being married was never in her plan. I said, really, Tisha, never in your plan? Because you seem like this is like the end all be all goal to be married. That's the kind of person you seem like to me. Am I crazy about that? But anyway, so she said it just happened to her. Marriage and kids just happened to her. So for her whole adult life, she's been a mother and a wife. I'm like, damn, girl. Damn, okay. A single mother at that. Married or not, but she been calling herself a single mother since season 1. Anybody remember that shit? Okay. Because he ain't doing nothing. He didn't even want to, what he didn't want to do, he didn't want to watch his kids. He said babysitting his own kids. You can't babysit your kids, child, okay? But anyway, so she's saying that she never had a male in the house, and so she don't know what that looks like for a man to be in the house, what his role is, basically. So when she met him, she thought he had it down packed, I'm guessing, which he still don't, girl. 14 years later, and he still don't. Okay, so then now in Tisha's confessional, she says that lately Marceau has been talking about if he's really happy, if he's reaching the goals that he wants to reach. And she's like, and now she's thinking, am I happy, basically, and is there goals that I wanted to reach? Because, she's like, she's not saying that the life she has, she don't want. She's grateful for it or whatever, but was it her plan? And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but it just sounds funny because she keeps saying, it just happened to me. It just happened. Life just happened, right? And that's true. But you still made that choice. It still was a choice in all of that. It wasn't like, it really isn't like it happened to you. Really, the pregnancy happened to you, really. But, that's still like unprotected sex. That's what you get, right? And then the marriage, you decided to marry him. You really did. And I feel like he only married you because he has that old school thinking of, well, she pregnant, so we got to get married. That's what it was. So then Dr. Francis asked, did anything come up after they session or whatever? And then she says, yeah, he mentioned depression, that he's feeling depressed. And then Dr. Francis was like, have you been noticing stuff like that? And then she was like, well, I noticed there was a disconnect in the relationship. And he's like, oh, okay. But she was like, but I asked him what I could do to help him. And he said to listen, if she listened more. And then she said he started listing all the material things that she keeps saying she wants this and she wants that. And then he was like, oh, so he's saying that you added material things to the list. And then and then she was like, well, yeah, I like stuff, but he does too. Like, that's her main point too. She mentioned that before, that he always trying to throw stuff at her like she wants material things. But then she keeps saying, no, he do too. Like, so why you keep trying to play me? Because you be asking for stuff too. So then Dr. Francis said, well, do you think that you're the cause of his depression? So he's holding you hostage for his depression? And I'm like, yes. He basically just tried to blame it on her, that she's the one that's causing his depression, if he even has depression. Because everybody like, is it depression, Marceau? Is it? Or you just threw that out there to like get the heat off of you real quick. We'll see though. We'll see. And then Dr. Francis asks Tisha, what does those material things mean to her? And then she said, well, maybe love. So maybe she's equating love with gifts. So that she's like, because he don't show his love in other ways. He's like, I'll write you a poem or I'll read to you. And I said, what? Hold up. He reading to you and writing poems? I think not. That was not good examples of what he expresses his love as. And I'm going to need you to do a redo of this scene because that's a lie. What does he do? Apparently nothing, if she couldn't say nothing that was real, because those two things, I don't believe it, and I choose not to believe it, because that sounds like some bullshit, okay? Marceau ain't write no damn love letter or poem, okay? And he damn sure ain't gonna sit down and read to you. But she's talking about, so when he give me material things, she feels the love, because apparently when she was growing up, her mama didn't say she loved her. Nobody in her family said, I love you. Oh, goodness, Tisha, you need to do some work on you, because that's a lot. That's a lot in itself right there. Do your mama say she love you today? Like in this age, have you told her as you grew up that you want her to say I love you? So yeah, that's crazy. And then she says that her mom never said I love you, and that but they always gave them things. She always gave them gifts. So that's the way she felt like her mom loved her, because she gave her stuff. I'm like, goodness, see, this is what happens. Y'all raising people the way y'all was raised. Now thinking back on all the shit that you did not like when you was being raised, because her mom didn't tell her either, but she just thought it was normal, and that's how she passed it on to her child. And then you left her open for a man like Marceau to come and control her, because she thinking the little bit of affection that she got from him when they first started dating, she was like, oh wow, this is amazing, this is the guy for me. No, she should have dated more people and found herself in more situations where she got a little more feelings or something. But no, she got stuck with Marceau, because that's the first dude that walked up and was like, hey girl, you're pretty. I love you. He probably said I love you within less than a week, and then she was like, really? And she fell for it. That's because mama done left that door open, that insecurity open, and left that ignorance open for her to just walk into, okay? Get it together, y'all. Please don't be doing this stupid shit to y'all kids, okay? This is what happens. How old is Tisha? 30 something, and now she's trying to figure herself out. Goodness. Okay, so now she's telling Dr. Francis how they went to Vegas, and that they was gonna do a vow renewal, but he said no, and then he was like, oh really? And then in her confessional, she says that it would have been nice if they was able to do that vow renewal, that recommitment of each other in front of people, because they've been having a rough year. Got all them rumors out there. And then I'm like, of course, you want him to be on TV in front of millions of people and let these hoes know that he do love me, okay? And then he ain't want to do it. And people trying to say he want to do it on TV because he want his girl to just believe that he just there for the marriage, okay? I can see that happening. I can see that being true though, right? Because it was dead set on it, and then he never showed her no real affection. So I'm like, what is this affection that you keep saying that he shows you? Because I don't see it. That one time he hugged you when you was upset and he was kind of drunk. That was the only thing I've seen him try to hug you. But other than that, he be looking at you like you stupid. He treat you like you stupid and tell you that you complain too much. But then anyway, so in her confessional, she's saying, I know Marceau loves me. It's not that. I just feel that we should be better at expressing it. I'm like, you waited late in the game to tell this man that he's not expressing it enough, because he already stuck in his rut. Marceau is an old man that ain't finna budge. And I don't see it work. I don't see it happening. And the more you go on this self journey, you're going to realize that he not what you want. So please keep going and figure yourself out, because this man going to keep dragging you down, and you're going to keep feeling like the whole world, like you a single mother in a marriage. Ain't that lonely? So now she's telling Dr. Francis that yes, it's been rumors out there, and it's been people saying crazy stuff about her husband for no reason. Girl, it ain't no reason, okay? It ain't no reason. But she's saying that she just don't like when people lie on people, and she has to defend him, and that vow renewal was been a way for her to defend him and say, no, look, he loved me. We're standing in front of the world and say how much we love each other, right? Which he didn't do. So Tisha says that she feels like people always say where there's smoke, there's fire. And it's been a lot of smoke, so now she trying to like see and pay attention to her husband and try to block out all that noise. And I kind of got confused with that, because saying that where there's smoke there's fire, that's saying, okay, so you don't believe that he's not cheating on you, so you don't believe that he's you believe that he might be cheating on you, right? But she also kind of covered it by saying that she needs to block out the outside noise and focus on her husband. So I'm like, oh, you mean block out the outside noise of people talking, and so you can focus and see what the hell he actually doing? Or you're saying that you're trying to block out what people are saying because you believe your husband? I was confused for that. But he was like, so you need to know for 100% that he's not doing it for you to feel like, for you to be able to defend him, because you want to defend him. And then she says yes, and he's like, okay, so then this is not about Marceau, it's about you. So what do you do to confirm that it's not a lie or whatever? And then she's just like, and that's where they cut out the episode. Like, really? That was good. That was real good. I'm gonna need Tisha to go to Dr. Francis a lot more, okay? Because he was getting it out of you. And I'm sorry, Dr. Francis' face the whole time she's talking. Like, he really trying to, I see him trying to figure what the hell is this out, right? And then two, it's a little bit judgmental, okay? Because he like, like, so, and what is that? And what is that? Is that what therapy is? The therapist gonna read your ass and make you read yourself? But yeah, so that was a good episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right, so that was the end of the episode, and that is the end of my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 13. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Be Like Dee channel, okay? Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought of the episode, what y'all thought of Tisha in her therapy session at the end, because that was everything, okay? And and the whole sit down with Tiffany and what's her name, Destiny, that whole little sit down. And then we had Mel and Martell drama, even though they wasn't even on the screen together at all, okay? So drop down in the comments, let me know what y'all think about all of that, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Be Like Dee channel. All right.